What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to The Climb with LIGUE. It's episode number 37 today. Before we get into things, if you missed yesterday's video, go watch it, I command you. It was the playoff semi-finals, lots of drama happened, and today, well, we're going to be tying up some loose ends. Of course, I'm now going to work on the assumption you know what happened, so you'll know that there isn't actually really a loose end as such to tie up. That was a decoy, everyone. I've played maybe the one person who missed yesterday's video. We are back here with the playoff final. We are taking on Amiens. I guess it is a loose end of sorts. It's the biggest loose end of all. We're still in the playoffs, ladies and gents, and today we are going to be doing this episode 100% live. Yes, can we get an ooh, 100% live? It's exciting, I know. And yeah, we're pretty much going to get straight into things. Of course, just less than a week ago, we took on Sochaux and won 2-1. Prior to that, got a win against Lorient. And to be fair, we've looked pretty good in the last kind of couple of matches that we've been involved in. We've got some really good results against tough oppositions, but perhaps the toughest test so far, we are taking on Amiens, who are in Ligue 1, of course. You can see here their key player is Alexis Blin. He's very, very good. At least compared to the players we have, he's very, very good. You consider that we kind of worship Kehinde as almost a godlike figure. Yeah, the comparison is quite damning, isn't it? I mean, hopefully we can relegate them. I say that like the most polite way. They're valued at 36 million. You can see their facilities. What are we valued at? 1.5 million. So it is a bit David v Goliath, but I'm hoping that with our hero Thomas in goal and, well, his merry band of tank engines in and around him playing outfield, we're going to be able to get a result today. I have rested the team up, so fitness is as good as you can really expect it to be, I suppose, at this point in the year. Unfortunately, Fomba is suspended for the opening game today, so he is going to get dropped completely. We're going to bring in Luis Carlos. He will instead slot in as a ball-winning midfielder. And to be fair, in this kind of game against a team where I think we might struggle to get the game by the scruff of its neck, we might struggle to get possession, I think Luis Carlos is actually the man that's perhaps the better fit for this game, a slightly more defensively minded player. With the suspension to Fomba, it's going to open up an opportunity. And you know what? I'm going to be bold here. I am going to place James Connolly on the bench. The Scottish youngster we've bigged up before. He's never played a senior league game for us. This doesn't really count as a league game, I suppose, but it's in the league competitions. Either way, whether or not he makes an appearance, I think it probably is a little unlikely, but if desperate times call for desperate measures, James, we might be coming down to you, so make sure you've got your shin pads on. Elsewhere in the team, Russo is slowly coming back from injury. There is a temptation to rush him back in and play him instead of NDIA, because frankly, NDIA has been an absolute liberty this year, or liability, liberty. I'm struggling. The nerves are getting to me, everyone. I'm forgetting how to use the English language. It is quite challenging, to be fair. I think we're going to have to drop Zangaba completely, but to be fair, Billingy, since he's come back into the first team, has been putting in some really good performances at right back and has kind of earned his spot in the team. So yeah, as I mentioned, besides the enforced change, we're going to go with the team that played last time, Big Dub, Blaze and Kofi in a midfield trio. And Cruz, who is in fine goal-scoring form. He has, what, I think 3 goals in the last 4 games or something? No, 4 goals in the last 3 games. It's even better. But this is going to be tough. This is going to be a real test. Over 2 legs, the chance of an upset is definitely smaller. But I'm hopeful that we can be at our best. They've actually won their last 2 games to end the league season. They were against Angers and Brest, both at home. I think this home game for us is going to be so important. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to hit the ground running, put in a good performance here, and hopefully turn up the pressure just a little bit. But the reality is that this year, my personal expectation was I hope that we could maybe challenge for the playoffs. The fact that we find ourselves in this situation is immense, and it's a really good situation to find ourselves in. We've looked good in the last couple of matches, as I said. I feel like we've kind of found our groove, and after not really having a solution to the striking position, it's kind of arrived in Cruz. And actually, in him playing down the middle, Kofi has just been unleashed out on the right-hand side. Anyway, just to have a little look at their team. A few players that I actually recognise. Kakuta, that's not difficult to say, is playing at centre attacking mid. He used to play for Chelsea, right? Am I correct? He did, many years ago now. He's had an interesting career. I would call him a journeyman. This year he's got 2 goals and 2 assists. Knowing my luck, he'll get a hat-trick today. They've got Girazi up top for them. He is very, very good. They've got good players, and they've got good players in the air, which scares me slightly. And their captain is Zungu, who is another centre mid. They are strong in the middle. This is a good Amiens side. I know their media prediction was 18th. I can only assume that they have a lack of squad depth and you know, maybe outside of a few really good key players, they are lacking. Either way, we are going to look to capitalise on things today. This is the home leg, folks. This is where it begins. This is where dreams can be made. If we can take a lead going into the second leg, I will start to believe promotion could happen. And while Blaze is going to be afforded space to run into behind, he pulls it back to Nuno, who headers it goalwards. And unfortunately on this occasion, our new goal scorer just isn't able to find the back of the net. But Blaze being given loads of space to attack into behind, I feel like is a little bit of a recipe for disaster. If I was Amiens, I would be a lot more concerned about that. I say that, now they're breaking through. Oh my word. Mercier, what an insane tackle / block that was. That was absolutely insane by him. And you know what? 15 minutes gone. You could argue that we've been the better team. We've got a set piece here. Blaze whipping it back post, headed away. Billingy, keep it alive, mate. Keep it alive. They've got a few players on bookings. Could we capitalise on that? I suppose we will find out in due course. Ball whipped in. Luis Carlos with it this time. We're having chances. They're not great clear-cut chances or half chances, but we're having shots on their goal. And I feel like that can only be a promising sign inside the first 16 minutes. You know, we are getting the ball forward. We're getting it into dangerous areas. I do feel like if we're going to do well today, Thomas in goal for us is going to have a very, very good game. He was so good for us against Sochaux. More of the same, please, today, Thomas. Kofi bringing it forward. Dinks it forward to Blaze. Can he pull it back? He can pull it to Cruz, who volleys it. It's blocked. Luis Carlos is there. And end-to-end highlights to start this game. I don't even think there was a break between them. We take the lead in this game. It's Luis Carlos, the man who's come into the ranks with Fomba out suspended. And it's Nuno Cruz cropping up with another, well, contribution to a goal. He's got an assist here. Shoots at the defender, it's blocked, and I guess it's an element of fortune the way it's fallen to Carlos, but you know what? You make your own luck in football. We've made it there, and we've taken it. We find ourselves a goal up, although set piece here, oh my word, and they've scored. It's 1-1. Well, that was a win that we were holding on to for approximately 45 seconds, so that's gone well. It was too good to be true, wasn't it? It was too good to be true. A really scrappy goal as well, a corner which just we allowed to bounce in the box. Billingy will perhaps get some of the blame. It's a bit unfortunate, really, but yeah, 1-1 here, and I think it's fair to say that it's been an exciting opening game so far. We had an issue with goals drying up towards the end of the season, during the playoffs, and right at the very end of the season. It has changed a little bit, and well, there could be another chance here. Billingy out in the wide areas to Kahinde, inside to Kofi. Can he take it around his man? Of course he can. His shot is blocked. Back to Billingy. Whips it back post. Julian Blaze is there, and Julian scores, and it is a ding-dong battle. Neither team seems to know how to defend, and we've got another 150 minutes of this over the next game and a half. Kofi with a shot blocked. I thought that might have been the highlight. Billingy though, live to the threat, whips it in, and if he was at blame for the first goal, Billingy, that we conceded, he's made up there with that cross. Picks out Julian Blaze for goal number 15 of the season. That is a lot of goals for a player to be getting from inverted winger in the wide areas. Anyway, speaking of the devil, here he is again. Julian, what do you want to do this time, mate? He's darting inside. He could thread through Nuno. He thread through Kofi. Slide tackle comes in. Falls to Cruz. He should have scored the one-on-one. He should have scored the one-on-one. Their keeper stands tall like a tree and denies us. Kahinde now whipping it in. Headed clear. I mean, it could be 3-1 right now. We have had some really good chances. We've been very clinical as well. And if there was any risk of this descending into just a one-goal game, I think that's gone now. I think what we've learnt here is that neither team is particularly great at defending. And instead, this is going to be a battle of the goals. Julian Blaze doing his thing. He is having a field day down this left-hand side so far in this game. He's dribbling past everyone. He's scored a blooming goal. Julian rocking the number 95 shirt. Doing what he does. Makes it 3-1, and I mean, he absolutely deserves that. What an insane run. From the very first minute of this game, he has looked to exploit them down this left-hand side. He's got in behind a lot. He's found himself unmarked at the back post a lot. And on this occasion, he's just dribbled all the way through and took the ball in at the near post in the one-on-one to make it 3-1. And Amiens, they are in a bit of trouble at this point. They have not had a shot on target. They find themselves, well, with a goal, which, I mean, answers on a postcard as to how that's happened. The stat trackers maybe need to have their jobs re-evaluated. Blaze to Kofi, he's got space to get into. They are committing their wing-backs up, and we are catching them out. The ball tipped onto the woodwork, and no one is there for the rebound. What a dominant display. This is beyond what I was expecting. Amiens are a very, very good team, and I guess my biggest concern right now is this is the first leg. I don't see how they can play this badly in this second half, and indeed for the kind of reverse fixture. So ultimately, we need to, whilst we're on top in this game like we are, try and get a goal or two more. You know, try and make it a 3-goal cushion. A 4-goal cushion would be dreamy, if a little unrealistic at this moment in time. But they're just giving the ball to us. They look incapable of playing the ball out, and our midfield is running rampant. Big Dub is through, one-on-one. Can he finish it? It's tipped wide, and Nuno Cruz does not have the legs to get there. I mean, we are bullying them. I think that's probably the best word to use right now. We are absolutely penning them in. They are giving us possession, and we are looking to hit in behind their wing-backs. Their fullbacks are just committing forward, and our inverted wingers are kind of happy to let them go forward because they'll sit goal side, and they are just giving possession again and again and again. And it's just giving us so much freedom to work into. Of course, when they do find the wing-backs like this, we look perhaps in a little bit of trouble, but is that going to be a pen? Is that going to be a pen? Luis Carlos could be about to go from hero to villain. And it is a penalty. Well, Thomas, we're looking at you now, friend. We are looking at you now, friend. This will be Amion's first shot on target, assuming they don't miss the target. And they took it into the bottom corner. And suddenly, it's 3-2. And that big lead that we were talking about trying to build up is a little further away. 3-1 here. Luis Carlos gets the first goal of the game and then just gives away that. And it's all just a little bit heartbreaking, isn't it? Blaze, though, with a free kick, whips in. Sandy Mercier hits it onto the woodwork. It would have been offside. I don't think it would have counted, but it's an opportunity again. And we're straight into another highlight. Oh, my word. This has been an epic, epic playoff so far. And we're only 57 minutes into the first leg. Emrelli bringing the ball forward. Slide tackling. Kahinde gets it forward to Nuno Cruz. What can Nuno do? What can Nuno... I'll tell you what he can do. He can hold it up and give it to Julian. Julian wants a hat-trick. He wants a hat-trick, folks. He can't get it at this time of asking. The shot goes narrowly wide. Oh, I feel like we are going to live to rue these misses. Their right back, who is marking Julian Blazes on a 5.7. Like, I would be subbing him off by now. Julian's just hit the crossbar again, has he? Or was that the keeper saving it? I think the keeper saved it, although that is a nasty foul. And that's a second yellow card. The right back, who has been in Julian's pocket all game, has just received a red card. How good is he? I mean, he just doesn't have the pace to keep up, I think is the issue. He just does not have the pace to keep up, and he has been sent off here. We'll let this highlight play out. I was about to make some tactical changes to maybe try and capitalise on the fact that they are a man down. I mean, their backup right back is going to have to play the next leg. Big Dub, we're looking to counter here. We're looking to... Big Dub, where are you going, friend? Where are you going? I'll tell you where he's going. To get on the near post for the corner, because his shot is blocked and goes out. I still want to make this change, or at least look at how we can maybe look to exploit the extra man. But I will allow this highlight to play out. Kahinde with the ball. Wide area, whipped back post. Blaze is there, although he's very, very deep to even think about a shot. Tries to pull it back. Back with Blaze towards Kofi, headed away. Amion on the back foot, it would be fair to say right now. They find themselves in all kinds of bother. And we've been exceptional without kind of pulling away, unfortunately. The set piece, the penalty, we've allowed them a way in here. Surely this is just the end of a highlight. I mean, they're bringing the ball forward. They are still committing men forward, which is always going to leave us the opportunity to break like this. Look at this situation, folks. Their centre mids do not exist. Kofi, can you pull it back? He can. Big Dub is there. The keeper has a calamity. I'm not going to complain. It's 4-2. And while Big Dub, he's had a fair few chances today. Finally, he has taken one. 20 shots we've had. 20. I mean, they don't deserve to be in Ligue. They do not deserve to be in Ligue 1 with performances like this. Their keeper's had an absolute disaster. Let's not gloss over it. Kofi gets the assist. Big Dub with the goal. It is 4-2 here. And we're just looking at things. They're playing without a centre attacking mid. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to stay how we are right now. I'm just wondering if I want to make any personnel changes. I could take off Billingy for Russo. And you know what? NDIA, come off for Russo. Russo, get some match fitness. I want you ready for the second leg. Elsewhere, Nuno Cruz hasn't had the craziest of games, but to be honest, I don't really want to disturb anything in the final third. We are chugging along, and between our attacking mids and our striker, everyone's got a goal or an assist. It feels like it's a bit unnecessary to change anything. We'll get a little bit shouty because at 4-2 I do feel like there might be another goal in this for us, as I've already kind of mentioned a few times. That said, time is just trickling away here. If there is going to be a chance, it's going to be very, very late on. I'm going to go to attacking here, but it is all elementary. A 4-2 win in our final home game of the season. And to be fair, we have planted the seeds there for the second leg, and we are in a good position. A 2-goal lead going into the second leg, which is taking place on Sunday. With that in mind, I've probably got to rest the players, haven't I? Blaze has got a fitness concern. He's had a fitness concern all year. I'll tell you what, he's still doing it on the pitch. He's embarked on 210 dribbles in 42 games. Yeah, that's right. He does 5 dribbles a game, everyone. He absolutely loves it. He thrives in the moment. I mean, look how much he's improved. Oh, my word. Oh, I mean, what a performance today. What a performance today in that first leg. We do not have long to recover. And that is my only concern right now. There is not a great deal of time to rest. Going to recall everyone to training, then rest them all again. Boys, get ready. We've got 2 days till the next game. Unfortunately, James Connolly never made an appearance this season. He's going to come off. Fomba, I am going to keep on the bench, actually. I think despite giving away the penalty, Luis Carlos was pretty good in the last game. What rating did he get? Can we see? Can we see? What did he get? 7.9. Gave away a penalty and still got a 7.9. With that in mind, I think he deserves to continue on playing. Obviously, Blaze, kind of fitness-wise, is perhaps the big concern. We've just got to kind of hope he can recover. But yeah, the 2nd of June is this second leg, so we are kind of way into the summer. Normally at this point, I'm plotting all our transfers for the coming year, but obviously that isn't really an option here with this. I can't really plan what we're going to be doing because I don't know what league we're going to be in, and the budgets haven't been set. As you can see, a few players' contracts expiring in I think in a week's time, a month's time. A few names that are notable here: Manan, Amadou Foul, Mori, Skidato, El Mutaki as well. Like, it's a sad time. I mean, Barane, Bar, Gilbert. But ultimately, the issue that I find myself with is they're not going to play for us. And in the league that we're in, you have to give your players a minimum wage. We are already over the wage budget by more than I would like to admit. In fact, because of the contract offers to the likes of Kahinde, Kofi, and also Blaze, we find ourselves way over budget. You can see here the situation. So I can't really afford to give sentimental contracts to all the players with contracts expiring right now, regrettably. They are just going to have to deal with the situation and just hope it's okay for them. And hopefully, well, they can forgive me. And if they want to stay on a month-to-month contract, I will allow it. But ultimately, I can't afford to spend money on them. Nuno Cruz has picked up Player of the Month. Not entirely surprising. 4 goals in 4 for him. Let's congratulate him, build up his confidence, so that hopefully going into this second leg, which is going to take place in just 36 hours' time, we are going to be ready. That is the hope, dream and expectation, I imagine, at this point. We will hand over to the assistant manager the pre-season or pre-match briefing. Does anyone do the pre-match briefings? That's a serious question. Please, have you ever done them? Answers on a postcard, please, in the comment section. I think I did them once to wonder what they were, and then I kind of looked at them and didn't feel like it really was something I wanted to get involved in. And kind of the beauty of Football Manager is you can kind of do as much or as little as you want of that kind of micro stuff. I can't say I've ever been in a situation where I felt like the fact I didn't do one cost me massively. Anyway, the sad news is, despite giving Russo some football, still only fit enough to play 45 minutes. I can't really justify using a sub to change a centre-back up. Worth noting, by the way, the relegation playoff going on here. Rodez, who of course we shared a stadium with last season, they're looking to get promoted to Ligue 2. So good luck in their game. They're a goal up after their home leg. We're 4-2 up after our leg. We're in a situation here where really, if we don't do it from here, it's a pretty bad balls up. I am just curious, actually. I assume that away goals aren't a factor, but I do just want to check the rules of the competition for obvious reasons. Second leg rules, extra time if the scores are level, penalty shootout if they're still level. Okay, there's no away goals, there's no nonsense, it is a straight aggregate score, and we find ourselves 2 goals up. So we're going to submit the team. There is going to be some tired legs on the pitch. I've made my peace with the universe about that. Looking at it, they are going to play Blin at right back today to try and contain Blaze. He cannot really play there. He's competent there. I guess that's a case of needs must. We will look to exploit that area of the pitch for sure. I think Kofi as well, kind of enjoyed his game against Gallison last time out. He is quite quick, actually. He's just not amazing defensively. So maybe Kofi can have him in his pocket. And to be fair, Big Dub looked threatening in that previous leg. But it's the same team, and I'm hoping for the same level of performance. But away from home, we know it's going to be tricky. I want to tell the players that we are underdogs. You know, even if we were to lose it here, let's be honest, we're playing a team worth 30-something times more than we are. They are just a much wealthier club, a much better club in terms of quality on the pitch. We won that first leg, I feel like, for a bit of grit and determination and really just exploiting how slow they were in the wide areas. We need to be good here. That's not the start I wanted after 9 minutes. A free kick scored by Kakuta. I mentioned the fact, didn't I, that he's only scored 2 goals this season. Make that free. Make that free from the free kick. Could Thomas have done better in goal? Maybe. Probably. Should have. But I'm not going to throw him under the bus. We are only here because he's made saves that no other keeper could. And I've seen plenty of keepers not save that kind of free kick this year. 4-3 on aggregate. You know what? I think this justifies getting a little shouty. We've got a set piece here. Kahinde. Where is Big Dub? He's underneath it, but it's headed clear. They could look to hit us on the break, although it's straight to NDIA. He's got the house keys. He's looking after them today. Julian Blaze can't get past his man. That could be the key battle here, and we could be caught out. Committed men forward. Girassi clean through on goal. Thomas to the rescue, of course. He's to the rescue. He's got his cape on. He's got his superhero mask on. He is loving life right now. That is what he does. The one-on-one saves, and he's bailed us out there, and that header is going to go over. Breathe, everyone. Breathe with me. In through your nose and out through your mouth. I should not be like a therapist. I cannot do guided relaxation. What I can do is guided promotions, and hopefully we're going to do that today. Kahinde to Blaze. Cutting in alongside the 18-yard box, kind of parallel to it. That is the Julian Blaze move right there. That's his dance move. Not under the ball there, although straight to NDIA, who's bringing it forward. What can you do, NDIA? Is this the redemption arc? Cruz hits the crossbar with the header. For a player who's not amazing in the air, Nuno Cruz gets a hell of a lot of headers for us. Unfortunately, most of them have hit the woodwork or gone over. That one did both. It's 1-0 at the break, only via a free kick. It's not been that explosive first half that we saw in the first leg. We are still going up as things stand. I am going to tell the players I'm not happy. Billingley looks demotivated. Billingley, come here, mate. Come here. You weren't bad, but I think you can improve. Look at that. Micromanagement. Get him happy. Everyone is happy as Larry. And I think Larry was a very happy chap. And I'm hoping we can keep going here. Julian Blaze on a booking scares me. They've now got a free kick in a wide area. It's whipped in towards the back post. Thomas, though, plucks it out of the air. What was that save? He's held on to it as well, where many a keeper would have dropped it. Nuno Cruz has bruised his ankle. He has not been at the races in this game, but we'll let this chance play out before we even weigh up a change. Ball whipped in. Oh my word. Big Dub's there, and it's scrappy as hell, but it's another one of the Big Dub specials. Set pieces either bounce in off his forehead and go in, or somehow they drop down and end up at his feet in the penalty area. He's got his own magnetic pull. That is how big he is. I think Sandy's been given the assist here for that header. Either way, we restore our 2-goal lead. It's a goal number 10 for Big Dub. He is loving it. I am loving it. They have a set piece. This is not... We're not loving this. We are not loving this. Kakuta whipped back post. Nuno Cruz clears it out. Block. Thomas tips it wide. I don't know what's happening. But the ball's not in the back of the net. That's what I know for certain. Kakuta whipping it in. Mercier heads it clear. Lord have mercy, please. I need to have a lay down. Nuno Cruz on an injury sucks, but I can't really risk him. With that in mind, we're going to bring in Cyprian David, and we're going to move Kofi into the striking position. Luis Carlos has not been good today, so I'm going to bring in Fomba. But rather than him play box-to-box midfielder, he's going to come in and play the ball-winning role for us. He's going to slot in and just function slightly differently to how he has worked in previous years. And, well, David has come on. What minute did you come on, David? You came in the 69th minute and you've gone off in the 70th. It's not ideal. Right, Viltard, this is your moment to shine. You came on against Sochaux and helped us out. Let's get through this here, boys. 15 minutes, 2 goals ahead. I'm starting to dream of it. I am starting to dream of it. Can we hold on? Ball here with Zungu. Playing it back to the centre-back, Billiken. Now with Prince. Pressure is mounting. We need to defend this here. Ball in the wide area. Do not let the ball go in, NDIA. Do not let it go in, my friend. Can he stop the cross? No, he can't. This is dangerous. Mercier, huge tackle. Ball still whipped in and headed goalwards. And it's 5-4, and it's not very comfortable. It is not very comfortable. It might be naivety. It might just be me sticking to my guns. I don't want to drop the team back. I feel like when we drop deep, they commit men forward like this. I think our best bet is to try and stay positive, to try and have as much of the ball as we can, and bring it forward and try and do the business with it. It's 5-4. Of course, if they were to get one more goal, we are going to extra time. But time is just trickling away. Time is just getting away here. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening except a promotion for Luzenak. Oh my word. People had us written off. People didn't believe it was possible, folks. But here we are. That first leg result was huge. The second leg result, not exactly convincing. But we have got the win in the playoffs. We are promoted. How much money are we going to get to spend? How bad are these injuries? Nuno Cruz is out for a day. Cyprian David out for up to 2 weeks. I would love to think... I mean, our current wages are about £46,000 and we had no transfer budget left. I'd like to think the wage budget will be close to 100,000. That would be nice. Maybe wishful thinking. Let's take a look, shall we? 3.4 million transfer budget, £77,000 wages. That's pretty good money. I think we'll rejig some of that perhaps into the wages. But that is very, very good money for us. We can definitely make that work. That is a flexible budget that we can definitely invest going forward. We collect a win bonus. Blaze, you can have your rest now, mate. You can have your rest now. I'm going to just, you know what? Send on holiday. Go on holiday, Julian. Go on holiday, my friend. Just go and relax. Go and sleep it off. You deserve it. Did that not send him on holiday there? Julian, where are you? He'll go on a holiday. It's the end of the season, Jack. He'll organise his own holiday. He doesn't need a parent's permission slip. He's 18 now. You've got to let your children go. Right, we will do the end of season bit. I don't know when the awards are going to be. So with that in mind, we will jump forward to whenever that is. And look back on this season. What an insane season. Julian Blaze came up clutch when we needed him to. Really good end to the season. Yes, we lost the final game technically, but we did enough in that first leg. And, well, I can't wait to just take a little look down memory lane and talk a little bit about the future. So, yeah, let's go forward, shall we? So it turns out I was only a few days away from reaching these inbox items, but here we are. I also realised that in skipping forward, I broke the 100% live promise. Forgive me. Let's have a look at the overall best 11, though. Some familiar names in here. Hal and Hugo Robert, well, centre-back. Himmer, I need to sign permanently, don't I? He has just been a little hero for us. The great news is we've got him on loan for another year. His shot stopping and his aerial reach, just the two things that I really value in a goalkeeper, to be honest, and you can kind of see why. His one-on-one goalkeeping has been absolutely superb. I would really, really like him to join, and apparently he is interested in a transfer. I'm just a little bit scared at how much they want. I'm not spending all my transfer budget on a goalkeeper I've got on loan for another year. Elsewhere in the Dream 11, unsurprisingly, Kahinde pokes up. He's been superb and he's continued to develop this year. It's kind of one of those weird situations where Kahinde for the last, well, what, 2 or 3 years has been at the heart of everything we've done. You kind of forget the fact that he is only 20 years old, and you can just see here he has improved a lot since he came to us. In fact, just before we got to this day, we had all the records come through. And one of the records that came through was Kahinde setting the average rating record for Ligue 2 with a 7.59, and also setting the record in the league for most player of the matches. He got 12 player of the matches this season in a 38-game season, which I feel like for a deep-line playmaker ain't too shabby. Of course, he's got great teamwork, great vision, his work rate, technique, everything is great except his balance. So as long as you don't ask him to walk a tightrope, which, let's be honest, as a deep line playmaker, there isn't much tightrope roping involved. The balance isn't too much of an issue, in my opinion. Anyway, we've had a look at the overall best 11. El Mutaki holds down his spot. Cyprian David's fan club, you can rejoice. He features. And Big Dub, down the middle, a player who, I'm going to be frank with you, is not going to be good enough, I don't think, for the step up this year. Yes, he came up clutch with a few big goals for us this year, but in reality, yeah, he was a bit of a letdown. Worth noting, El Mutaki up top, deserves a shout out because his contract's up at the end of the year. I'm probably just going to let him go, as for the kind of reason I mentioned before, where I don't want to have to pay players minimum wages. Anyway, unsurprisingly, Kahinde dominates the fans' player of the season with most of the vote. Garreau got signing of the season, which is interesting. Of course, we signed him to play centre-back at the start of the year for 33k. He did okay for the first half of the season, but in the second half of the season, Mercier obviously came in and kind of stole his position as that left centre-back. There isn't actually a world of difference between them, but I think for me, Mercier's just overall technicals and his physicals kind of just edge it out. And ultimately, he never really put a foot wrong. Bizarrely, neither did Garreau, to be fair. We're in a nice situation where we've got some pretty good centre-backs, but kind of odd to see him get signing of the season. Kahinde, you can see, 20 years old, getting the young player of the season. And as for goal of the season, it was Julien Blaise. Of course it was Julien Blaise. Let's look at this goal. I don't remember it. Sometimes with Football Manager, the goal of the year is just a bit random. But maybe this one was a good one. It was a free kick. Julien Blaise hit it. I mean, to be fair, that did curl a lot, didn't it? What an insane free kick in that 5-1 win. I remember showing that free kick, actually, on its own in an episode. We didn't show the rest of the goals from that game, but I made a point of showing that one because at the time I knew it was quite good. Anyway, pre-season billing and our season review, dreams do come true. We divide expectations, suggesting that we would be relegation certainties, and mounted an unbelievable promotion-winning campaign. We got very lucky in the playoffs, I feel like. I feel like both Sochaux and Lorient were tailing off at the right time. And that opening leg against Amiens, we just dominated them in a really bizarre way. Moment to forget was a 4-2 defeat against Auxerre. That was quite early on in the season, if I'm not mistaken. Average attendance is really good at 87%. I assume that we're going to need to expand the stadium because we were already below the Ligue 2 minimum requirements. So I'm almost certain that we're below the Ligue 1 minimum requirements. That's going to be something we need to check on. Anyway, you can see here the club vision for the year. What is the expectation? They want to build a new stadium. In progress, what do you mean? Are we building another new stadium? I did some tests and this did happen. I just assumed that our current stadium was going to be able to be expanded. Either way, the expectation next year, unsurprisingly, is fight bravely against relegation. As for everything else, they want us to play attacking possession football as the favourites to go down. Not sure what to make of that. I mean, it's not ideal. Can I negotiate it? Can we maybe get rid of some of these? 3-year deal, new stadium are fine. I really wanted to get rid of the makes the most of set pieces, to be honest. I'm going to get rid of play entertaining football and see if they'll accept. They really want entertaining. Well, we're just going to accept it. I feel like with the club vision, when you've been at a club long enough, you have a little bit of permission to roam away from some of these values. There's certainly some like sell players for profit that I don't intend to do, it would be fair to say. Anyway, looking at the squad dynamics, Hal Himmer and Robert, the team leaders, interesting to note that Thomas Himmer is the only of those players that I would consider a regular in the first team anymore, so expect the status quo to shift a little bit. Julien Blaise, Kofi and Kahinde, you'd imagine they'd be the 3 players in contention to move up. We get a chance to do an end-of-season meeting. I think the reality is we're going to be fighting against relegation. What do I want to say? We know it's going to be a tough season and we'll probably come back down, but I want you to know that you will have every chance to try and keep us up. That might be a little negative, but I think that's the right move here. And it is. Yeah, the expectation this coming year is not going to be good. What I will say is that morale is perfect. I like that. That gives me hope for the coming year. That is what you want to see. Anyway, end of season injury report. A few players out. I guess Russo was the most notable of our key players. He was out for 3 months with his hip injury. But to be fair, we got pretty fortunate with injuries this year. We have our squad break. So, well, go and enjoy your little holiday, Blaise. You've been complaining about it for a while. You can see here against Amiens, that 2-1 defeat was good enough. It was good enough at the end of the day. Big Dub getting a 7.0 is superb. And Thomas actually got another really good rating in goal despite conceding 2. Bangaré, who is going to be released at the end of his contract this year, couldn't keep the team he was on loan at up. Staff contract numbers, or staff numbers here, you can see they're going to update. So that's nice. I think we've got a few new staff spots we can use. You can see some coaches have had their contracts also renewed for the end of the year. Kahinde wins player of the season. This is the team of the year. Kahinde's in there again. Not entirely surprised. He got the award for most assists. 16 assists in 39 games is nuts. And Kofi didn't get top goal scorer. Sad times. He got 17 goals and 7 assists. Wissa only got 17 goals and 1 assist, which is absolutely pathetic. Kofi, you're the real winner in my heart, my friend. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Nardi's won goalkeeper of the year. That is an absolute joke, and I'm going to complain about it. I'm not going to vote in the manager of the season because, frankly, I want to be doing all of that and winning all of that. I'm not going to vote for someone else. So there was a thing about building a new stadium. It doesn't look like there's any news inbox item, although if I remember correctly, and this is going off memory, if you hit continue once more, you get more end of season inbox items that come in. I don't know why they all don't come in at the same day, but it's just Football Manager logic. We'll see if anything comes in. Apparently it's one of the board visions is to build a new stadium, so you'd imagine that we're going to get something about that. You can see here a few players happy that we played them where they were promised to be played. We are going to delay, what's happening here? We're not going to build a new stadium. No, we are building a new stadium. We're going to ignore the minimum requirements that we don't kind of hit because we would need to increase our stadium capacity by 10,000 and it only has a potential capacity of 9,400. So even if we expanded our Luzenak Pyrenees Stadium to its full size, it still wouldn't hit the minimum requirement of 15,000. So a new stadium is being built. Another one. DJ Khaled is loving it. 21 million, that's a lot of money to cost. And it's got the exact same name. It's got the exact same name as the previous stadium. There is actually a way to rename stadiums. I might rename this one so we're not just moving into the same stadium name again. Let me know if you'd be okay with that. It feels a bit lame, doesn't it, to move from one stadium to another. Construction of the stadium is going to cost 21 million. We're going to sell off our old stadium for £500,000. I don't know how much we spent to build our original stadium, but that feels like it's a big loss. But it's a new stadium, it's on its way, and apparently it's going to be done in a year. That feels like it's being rushed through, but we will at least hit the minimum capacity, which I suppose is something. Gahinde set a new team record of 16 assists. He also got the most man of the match awards. He broke all the records this year, rather unsurprisingly. And I guess that's officially the end of the season in terms of news inbox items. It is going to be a very, very busy summer. Our money is atrocious. What's happened there? I guess that's all the bonuses we've paid out. I mean, the good news is we've been promoted this year, so money shouldn't be a problem. And judged by the wage budget we've been given to spend, we're going to have some money to flog. So that's going to be fun to spend big, big, big. So I suppose the question becomes, what are the plans for next season in terms of the squad? And I think Nuno Cruz perhaps deserves a little bit of a chance, but I'm still not entirely convinced. Of course, we've got a few players joining us on the ins. The question now becomes, are they good enough for the top flight of France? Because when I signed these players, I wasn't really dreaming of it. Lucier is a good little kind of left back. I think he can also slot in at deep line playmaker potentially, but for us, he's natural at left back. It's a position he can play. We've had issues there. And despite, a few little gaps in his game, for the most part, he is super well-rounded and coming in on very good wages. And Dino I've brought in to be our starting striker, and I don't think he's going to be good enough next year after this promotion, so I've maybe got to look to reevaluate that as well. I mean, ultimately, if we just look at our team selection, I think this here is the players who realistically can make the step up. We've had all kinds of issues this year at the full-back positions. Left-back, I think, is going to be solved. The striking position, I'm less so sure about. Obviously, Blaise and Kofi, I want to play them out in the wide areas. That is where they've put in their best performances this year. You can see the average ratings for Kofi. He's had a 7.6 when he's played out on the right, and only a 7.0 playing down the middle. He is just a player who loves to play in the wide areas, similar to Julien Blaise. And I think regardless of what we do elsewhere in the team, those two players and Gahinde really are the long-term players. Of course, Gahinde's had the contract extension triggered in his contract from us getting promoted. Similar story for Kofi. So Kofi's contract now, by the way, expires in 2032, which is in 8 years' time. That's an immense situation to be in. We are not going to have to worry about Kofi's contract for a long, long while. And as for Julien Blaise, he has a 5-year contract now with the contract extension after promotion. So the three pillars of the team tied in for the long haul on quite small wages and without kind of any release clause, which is nice. As for Sandy, I think he deserves a chance next year. I think he is a very good centre-back at 19. As for Mercier, I might look at what's available. The reality is here that we've got promoted a little bit sooner than perhaps I would like in a bizarre way. It's not dissimilar to the Taulaw situation where We're entering League, and I'm not actually that convinced we're ready for it. And I wasn't planning on getting promoted this year. And whilst it's kind of a nice blessing, it is also just a little bit of a headache because, frankly, even Mercier is kind of a bit of a question mark. Thomas, I think, can do a job for us. But beyond the players we've got in the 11 right now, I'm not sure who else is really a starter. You know, Luis Carlos, I don't think he's good enough to be a starter next year. Saidi at 17 years old. I mean, I'd love to give him a bit of game time, but he is not good enough. Nuno Cruz, I guess there's questions around Nuno now because of how he ended the season, but even here you can see his potential might be a little bit questionable. So whether or not he's really going to come on leaps and bounds. I think a lot of it comes down to what players are available. You know, where can we afford to spend money? And that is something that I don't really know right now. And to be honest, it's going to be a long pre-season. It's probably going to take me hours. I say it would normally take me hours, tens of hours. Maybe not tens of hours. I'd say this is going to be like a 12 to 16 hour pre-season of thinking and planning and just searching out the players. I mean, the great news is we're promoted and the money situation is sorted. And of course, the big players are locked into long contracts. The goals of Kofi and Blaze were instrumental this year. Big Dub chipped in with a hell of a lot of goals as well, although I just feel like he might be at the end of his lifespan in terms of how, you know, regular he can play in the first team. As far as a backup advanced playmaker or centre attacking mid, very good player. But he's not good enough for Liga. He's just not. On the assist front, obviously, Kahinde's been huge. And then Julian Blaze and Kofi got 9 assists each as well. So, yeah, there's 3 players we have to thank for the goals this season, really. And, of course, Nuno Cruz deserves a mention because he got the goals when they mattered at the end of the year, despite being awful for the rest of the season. Obviously, in terms of average rating, perhaps not unsurprising to see the players up here. But Mercier is up there. He put in some really good performances. Viltard and Guerreau also doing well. It's been a weird year, hasn't it? It's been a really weird year. The playoffs is a gauntlet, the way it's formatted, and even going into today's episode, I did not really think it was on against Amiens. To be fair, throughout this entire season, we've only spent... No, in fact, we were from game week number 4, we were always in the playoffs. So when you look at it like that, we were always right there at the top and always one of the better teams, but it never felt like we really got going, and then suddenly... Obviously, the goals started flowing courtesy of Nuno Cruz, and that kind of guided us on our way. And, well, against Amiens, Blaze getting 2 was massive. I am concerned that we've lent a little too heavily on our 2 young wingers, but at the same time, you know, they're homegrown talent. They've come through our academy, and it's quite nice to see them really flourishing and looking like top quality players. And between them and Kahinde, I think we've got enough quality to at least be competitive next year, but it's about getting a supporting cast sorted, and there's a lot of casting to be done. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up things here. Let me know what you made of this season. Let me know who your player of the season would be. I think Thomas would probably be mine in goal. I don't think we would have done the playoff run without him. He was huge. Across just about every game, I feel like he made massive saves to keep us in it. And, well, off the back of his performances, off the back of our season... We find ourselves here, promoted in Liga. It's going to be good. I'm scared for it. Just a heads up, there might not be an upload tomorrow, but with all the real world football going on this weekend, I hope you're able to enjoy the resumption of football, at least here in England. And yeah, I will catch you guys again on Monday. Yes, I'm going to have a day off. I hope you're ready. I am definitely not ready yet, but maybe I will be in a couple of days' time. I will see you guys then. It is me, Jack. Thank you for watching, gang, and I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.